Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. Today is October 27th, 2021, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Tesla continues to hold above that $1,000 clear mark, but will it do so further? That's the question we're going to answer today. And looking at the major economic events of the day at 4 o'clock South African time out of Canada, Bank of Canada will have a rate statement. That's a major number coming out. Now looking at corporate earnings as well today, Ford, BOEING, and MASTERCARD all coming out with their quarterly earnings. All titans in their own right, and we're going to see some further action there. Now looking at the major pairs, pretty much shifting and not really directional. Looking at the indices as well, drifting just sideways. Looking at commodities, gold unchanged, while oil retreats, but is it still in an upwards momentum? Now looking at the stocks, most stocks drift lower. And lastly, Bitcoin stalling. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we are looking at the Euro USD, pretty much unchanged. I mean, look at that 15.96. We're in like a 6 pip range, 10 pip range. That's not much trading there. And so, but it is consolidating. It seems like the market is just absorbing some of the major gains in the US markets over the last couple of days. Now looking at the Gbp USD, also pretty much unchanged. And looking at the Aussie dollar, also pretty much unchanged. So not really much going on when it comes to the Forex symbols this morning. Looking at the Canadian dollar coming out with its big rate statement today, we are at the top of the range right here, 123.89, and this may be an important area today because if we do break it on the upside, then we could surely rally up to 125. But if we don't sustain it, we could see ourselves going back to 123. So yeah, is it an important number? Absolutely. Do I expect something major to happen today? Not sure, but let's see how this unfolds later today, because this is really an important area that we're in right now, because this is resistance-ish level on a multi-time frame area. If we look at a daily chart, okay, we haven't been at this type of area for quite some time. And especially as we're breaking above the 8-day moving average on a daily, that may add some significance. Now, we do have an upper limit of 125 if we do decide to rally, but that's something that the market is absorbing this news coming out. Now, looking at the commodities, looking at gold, not much doing here, 1786, just retracing about 4 or 5 points, not really very important. However, looking at crude oil, this is really important because we're looking at a daily and we're hugging this 8-day moving average more and more, okay? The moves up are not becoming more extreme. They're just, you know, they're shifting and they're becoming a little bit more extreme. So I do expect some sort of correction brewing, okay? It might not happen today, might not happen tomorrow, but it is brewing, or at least leveling off and stopping this massive trend upwards that we've been experiencing. Now looking at the big board, looking at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones trading at 35,663. Okay, we hit a high yesterday of 35,700-ish level. But again, okay, it's just, it's flatlining here. Okay, and this may be a point where people are going to start taking money off the table if there's not going to be so much activity on the upside. Now, looking at the technology stocks, so the NASDAQ also hit back to its highs, 15,675. But the question is it sustaining itself on the upwards momentum? Now, looking at the individual stocks, this is really matters. Okay, Facebook has been relatively weak, right? Ever since we gapped down earlier this week because of its earning reports, we didn't sustain it. 326, and when we traded lower. If we look at Microsoft, we traded lower yesterday after it came out with its earning reports. Now, the last of the titans to come out with its earning reports is going to be Apple on Thursday. And it did rally up to this upper limit here. If we look at 148, okay, in anticipation to its big number. So it's not what the companies are making now, it's what they anticipate to make in the next 6 months. And that's really the most important element of the stock market. Now, looking at Tesla, we're trading at $1,000 right here. Now, we did clear that 1089 yesterday, but we're not sustaining it. Okay, definitely a support level is $1,000. If it breaches that $1,000, we could see it correct itself further. Okay, but it does look like it wants to sustain it, and because every time it's going down with lower volume. However, However, this spike, this type of V formation, usually has a correctional move on the downside. So I don't want to celebrate that too soon, but I want to keep an open mind about it as well. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, trading at 60,677, and it did retrace, okay? It did retrace a bit here down to 60,000, but it's sustaining itself, okay? Hasn't really broken. If it breaks that 60,600-ish level, and our next level is 60,000, 59,000-ish level is that next support, okay? As it's pretty much leveling off as well. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.